There's Something in the Barn is a horror holiday movie. This seems to be a new genre, and I am all for it. I am loving it. We have collectively received so many at Film Threat horror films set at Christmas. It's like a genre unto itself. Silent Night is coming out soon, which looks very good from John Woo. And there are just, you know,
A Creature is Stirring.
A Creature is Stirring is one. It's a Wonderful Knife. The Christmas horror movie genre, it's becoming a thing. This film is very simple, and I'll say this. It's kind of almost a parody of a Hallmark movie. It stars Martin Starr and I'm not sure if I get her name right. An actress whose name I can't pronounce. Amrita Acharya. Is that it? In any case, they are a family that has moved to, where are they living? Is it Sweden or they're in Norway? That's it. They're in Norway. So they're celebrating Christmas at this house that they've rented. They're in Norway. And are they rented, or is it like an old family house? I forget that part.
They bought it. It's an old family house. It's a
Old family house.
farm home.
But it has a
They
barn.
want to turn the barn into a Airbnb.
It's a mixed family because he has kids from a previous marriage. This is the second marriage. So there's a little conflict with the kids and the new mom, so to speak. But this family is going to celebrate the holidays in Norway at this house. And the young son in the family discovers that there's something in the barn. But what I really love about the film is it's like if Hallmark went full horror and gore, that's what this is, because it starts out like this Hallmark movie. They're trying to make friends with the neighbors. They have a holiday party, but there's something in the barn. And what is in the barn? A little elf-like gnome that has murderous tendencies. And these gnomes are like this big. They're these tiny little gnomes. And then it ends up being this whole family versus these gnomes that want to murder them. People are killed. There's dealings with the local police. Nobody has a simple gun. And it gets to ridiculous extremes by the end with this entire family trying to fight off these gnomes. What I loved about the film is that it's making fun of Hallmark movies is what this movie does. And also, I've always loved Martin Starr, but for the most part, Martin Starr has been relegated to roles that are like he's a side character in a movie, or he pops up in a bit part, or he's got like one scene where he's in a film. Martin Starr is the lead in the film, which is great, along with the actor who plays his son. And I just look, very entertaining. You could also trick your family. I think one of the fun things about this movie is that because it starts out like a Hallmark movie, you could watch the movie and think, oh, this is just a Hallmark movie. But like 20 minutes in, it takes a dark turn and it's a lot of fun. Is it the greatest horror movie in the world? No. Is it as good as Thanksgiving? Not as funny. But I enjoyed it. I'd say like a 6 out of 10 if forced to give, assign a number to it. But I had a very good time. And the fact that it really leans into all the Hallmark tropes that are so cheesy and annoying and cliche, I really love that aspect. Alan, what did you think of There's Something in the Barn?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Good. Good night. I mean, it's just a lot of silliness going on. The
Right.
horror is very silly horror. It kind of harkens back to Gremlins, where there's certain rules that you have to follow with they're barn elves basically.
Right.
And certain rules. The biggest one is you have to protect the barn. And when they
Right.
decide that they're going to turn the barn into an Airbnb, then all rules are off here. And
Right.
it kind of has that Gremlins ending in the sense of, maybe one of the elves actually likes them. And so, yeah, it's sorry. I'm not as excited about it as you. Just because,
Fair.
I think it does lean more on the silliness end of it. And, as much as I like comedy, I'm not much into just silliness.
Right.
There's got to be some real heart behind it. And, I think the thing that I walked away from this movie was this is probably a good horror primer for children. This is probably the one you want to show kids to kind of get it. If you want to turn your get into a horror fan, this is probably a good film to start with.
Yeah, it's not like the violence is kind of shocking in some parts, but it's not
Mhm.
super over the top like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean,
Thanksgiving
I
over
think
the
a lot
top.
of times we overprotect children when it comes to horror and scary things in films. And I think they can take it more than we think they can.